definitely don't want to raise the value by any means, but lake storage is gold.
It is.
You
The
know,
land reflects the value of this,
a-
but we're just looking at the building, not at the
Yeah.
land, so.
Right, right. Well, and I was going to say each bay in a garage in the lake area is probably worth 8 to 10,000 a bay. So we're only assessing the garage at 8,400 when we got done making the change.
Mhm.
So that would take the garage to 5,900
To go to fair condition.
to go to fair condition. D grade, fair condition, the garage would be 5,900, so 41,800 overall. And that's with a 20% obsolescence on it.
Do you have electricity into the garage?
Yes,
Okay.
What about, I'm not sure.
Does it have its own
I'm not
meter
sure
or is that
what
just
the
from the
condition-
house?
it's coming from the house.
-1. But left the condition out.
Okay, let's leave the condition average and try a D-1 for a price.
Sorry, I don't know. Because this would be referring to like the condition for that year. That's my understanding. Is that correct?
Then it would be 7,300. 7,300 on the garage for 43,200 overall.
Just curious, did your dad build the garage himself? Or did he have
Yeah, well, him and his dad.
Yeah.
They built the cottage too.
That's right. That's old school. That's the way it should be done, right? Find a way and do it yourself.
This one. This was condition 2.
That would be.
Yeah, they had over,
That would take.
Just
they
the
bought
grade.
the
Yeah, the
the
grade.
land
Grade, and then that
Uh,
keeps the building average
Mhm.
towards 8.
From the family.
from the family.
It was all farmland
I
out
can
there.
only imagine how different it was when they built that.
There was cows down front when we had the cottage put up. Down by the lake, they had that all fenced off and the cows were down there.
Yeah.
Free water, right? You could get down there and get a drink.
Yeah, dropping the grade 'cause it's-
He paid more for the
That would kind of take into.
for the front lot because it was owned by another member of the family.
No, that's why we talked about it.
And he had to pay $2,000 for that, where he got,
'Cause
where the house was at and the garage was at.
Takes it down
He
just
got
a
that for
little bit.
$25.
Okay.
What
That
year
was
it?
family discount, dear.
A family discount still though. What year would that have been? Originally?
Oh, I don't know. When I was
So they had
Small.
just done-
Yeah,
back in the 40s,
back in
Yeah.
the 40s.
Started at 40,
like I said, most of it was farmland out there then.
and they requested 36.
If you'd only known.
It's
Back
amazing
then.
how things change, isn't
And then
it?
they
Now
ended
lake
up
property is
changing
gold. It's
44,
never gonna be farm ground again.
Right.
Doesn't do much, but it's a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay,
I make a motion for Johnson's second property with the garage on it, that we would change the grade from a D to a D-1, so that the total assessed value would be 43,200, according to the changes that were made.
I will second that motion.
we have a motion and a second to change the grade from a D to a D-1 that would create the price of 43,200. Is there any more discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. We tried.
didn't save much, but a little bit.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
2nd, 2025 in the LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is live and being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. The proceeding number is 44-013-25-0-5-00019. The parcel number is 44-09-12-200-010.012-013. The property address is 11750 East 310 South, LaGrange, Indiana 46761. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree with the year under appeal is as stated?
Yes.
My name is Kim Fairchild, and I'm Secretary of ptaboa.
The following other persons are here representing the ptaboa,
Jennifer Beachy.
Joe Billman.
and I'm Deb Notstein. There is no one here representing the taxpayer. The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild.
Josh Pettit with Nexus.
Well, all persons who are may be witnessed in this hearing, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Since the taxpayer is not present, we'll turn the floor over to the county.
I will say that Mr. Kirk is in Arizona and he wanted to be here. And he just asked that we present the case to the board on his behalf. So,
Yeah, typically when this happens, I will allow you guys to read in any of their evidence. In this case, the only thing that's been submitted so far is just what's on the 134, or the 130, excuse me. So just said not many changes have been made in our neighborhood in the last year. Houses on both sides of us were built in the 50s. No improvements have been made. The taxes are a burden with us on a fixed income. We did, on our part, we did run sales comps. Again, this is another north Turkey Lake. Okay, so we're up in that neighborhood that's been created for everything on the north side of Turkey Lake. So it is getting the same information that,
So that is off of the same road back to the lake.
well, this one is the chip and seal road.
This is on the improved.
Right. So, and I don't think we really did much about that.
Okay.
Long term, I do wonder how much those roads make a difference. And, you know, the previous taxpayer that in here, obviously the sale price was, if it was affected, wasn't very much affected because they still sell for a decent amount of money when they do sell. That said, we just pulled comps and ran comps. The comps come out almost exactly to where the assessment is in this case. When you look at the median value, Kim had pulled these and ran the sales comps, and then because the taxpayer couldn't make it, she actually asked me to take a second look. And I responded after looking at the comps and looking at the evidence that I don't think I would have done anything different. There's only a few comps to pull when you just use the last couple of years. There's, you know, whether or not the sale down the road, we know that this 3 houses down from the vacant lot. Yeah, that one, we know that's one of our main sales that we use in this neighborhood that sold for $425. And when you compare these houses, that one's a little bit larger. It is a little bit older and it's a little bit better grade. So the subject house is kind of like almost a barn. You know what I mean? It's that Dutch colonial, it's a barn. But it wasn't built like a barn dominium like they're doing now, right? It was just that shape of the Dutch colonial type of roof. And but it's nice. They have a nice sandy beachfront, nice lakefront, and ultimately house down the road, larger, maybe a little nicer, $425. We're still at $342. So,
And the grade at the D+2, you feel that's correct?
yeah, it's definitely not a C grade house. I think the style of the house alone kind of lends itself to a lower grade. I know they have put a metal roof and stuff on it, but it still has the old plywood siding concept, right? So that's going to lower your grade a little bit. And then just the style of the house is going to lower the grade a little bit compared to an average C grade house. So. But yeah, so, if we had more to offer on the taxpayers' behalf, we would, but really all we have is what we have. So, and ours kind of lines up with this value, so.
So your official stance is no change?
No change on this one. Yep.
Based upon the evidence presented, review of comps and reviewing the grade and overall condition, I'll make a motion to make no changes.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second regarding the Kirk property to make no changes and maintain the county's value at $342,600. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, opposed, motion carries.
This is an administrative hearing being held on October 22nd, 2025 in the LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is live and is being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. Proceeding number is 44-013-25-0-5-00027 and 44-013-25-0-5-00028. The parcel numbers are 44-09-26-00-000.011-013 and 44-09-26-100-013.00-013. The property address is 10075 East 645 South, Wolcottville, Indiana, 46795, and East 645 South. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree with the year under appeal is as stated?
Yes.
My name is Kim Fairchild, and I am Secretary of the ptaboa.
Following persons are here representing the ptaboa,
Jennifer Beachy.
Joe Billman?
and I'm Deb Notstein. The taxpayer is not present. The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild,
Josh Pettit with Nexus.
Well, all persons who may be witnesses in this hearing, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Since the taxpayer is not here, the county has the floor.
Can we just address them both real quickly together because they were purchased together back in
Yes.
2021? Yeah, we didn't do much on this one. I do think the most important information is to share that we are still under the sale price with our current assessments when you add the two together for what they paid in 2021. I will defer. Kim, do you know, did we make, I'll get to the back parcel in a second. Did we make any changes to the front at all? I don't think so. I think we just said we're still under the assessment.
yeah,
Under the sale price,
um,
which is probably all the evidence we really need unless the taxpayer said something drastic has happened to the property since they purchased it.
yeah, to the front, we did not make any
Yeah.
changes.
On the back lot, they did submit a survey, and it made a change to the value, which actually increased the land when we went off the survey. And that raised the value, and then Kim and her office did change a grade on their garage, which lowered the garage. So the numbers we're going, and they still are supported when you add all that up, it's still less than what they paid for it in 2021. So ultimately there'll have to be two decisions on your part. We're going to say no change on the house lot, the front lot. And then we would ask that the board agree with our changes from the 134 on the back lot. If you guys want to discuss and get exact numbers before you decide what to do, you guys will make your determination on each one, right? So we can talk through each one, but that's the county's case.
And once again, the same question, grade appears to be correct for the house, you think?
Yeah, honestly, it could probably be a little higher in my opinion, but because it was built back in the 20s, it could quite possibly be a remodeled cottage, and so I'm hesitant to jump that grade too much. It's on the edge. I mean, if I just showed up at that house, I'd probably say D+2, but a D+1, the fact it was built in 25, maybe there's some inferior stuff going on the inside of that.
Okay.
It's funny. I think people built things really well in the 20s, except for their lake cottages. They used an old barn.
It was a
that
cottage.
Yeah, they brought their leftovers of the old barn down to the lake and built a cottage. Yeah, so I'm always I'll be a little cautious on those, right? Their farmhouse still standing today. Cottage,
Well, when they stood most of the year unused,
Mhm. No heat.
unheated,
yeah,
wet,
probably had no water, and obviously in the 20s, no water or anything. back
no
then.
electricity, just a roof,
Yep.
Place to go swimming and fishing.
sleep.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay, what do we want to do here? Do we want to address the house first? The county has no change on the house.
I think that was
Okay.
actually since it's-
Sarah,
Do you want to do it just about, okay. I would make a motion for the land and property that we would do no change in the assessed value based on the information that was given to us by the assessor's office.
I will second that motion.
we have a motion and a second on the Landon first appeal here with the house to maintain the county's value of $295,900. Is there any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Now we have their second appeal and it's on their backlot and garage. You say the survey changed the,
So when I was looking at their land, they were only being assessed for it was only being assessed for like 0.2 acres
Yeah,
or
0.2.
And when I went and looked at their deed showed like plus or minus 0.3 acres. And when I measured it out on Beacon, it was a little more that like 0.295. So I remeasured it and it ended up being more. So the assessment ended up being higher based on they were not being assessed for enough acreage. And it actually matched what the deed said.
Okay.
So
well,
I felt comfortable doing that.
And that area behind the garage is not a low area or anything like that. So it appears to be fairly flat. and usable.
Right. I will confirm that because
Yeah,
it's
where
been a
are
while.
we on the lake? I know most of these roads if I'm back there.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a high spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's anything, it might be going down to their garage. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it definitely wouldn't be a
Yeah,
low
it's-
spot. I think the
yeah,
field's
it's
the high
good.
spot there.
Okay.
It's not, I was back and forth with him in emails, and he did question, it was an appeal, and he did question the grade. It's not unusual for garages to be D grades, and because he appealed, I did go ahead and change the garage to a D grade. That's why I did that. And so it did lower the grade of the garage, or I'm sorry, the assessed value of the garage. So it raised the land, of course, the assessed value of the land because of the acreage, and brought the garage down a little bit. And that's where we ended up with the 44.9.
And if you want my true opinion, I would just do all this next year. I would not raise their value by a couple $1,000s on an appeal. I would just have it all fixed for next year, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, I hate when someone comes in and they find out that the result is, oh, it needs to go up. So, I mean, I don't know if it matters to you. I mean, we kind of presented him the numbers.
Yeah, I
and he
understand
said
what you're
no,
saying.
but I mean, if we just leave it where it was last year and you guys say no change, it doesn't hurt the county. And then fix it next year. And if he doesn't like the value, he can appeal again, right? And he can try to be here and argue the value of the land or the garage or whatever the case is. But yeah, doesn't sit great with me. I know
And
that's,
he does live here. This isn't a summer residence. 'Cause
Uh,
yeah,
That's correct.
okay.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
Mhm.
But would we need to do the grade change in the meeting here, but do the land correction for next time?
I wouldn't do any of it.
Okay,
I would just say no change
Okay.
because that's in favor of the taxpayer. In the end,
Okay.
the ultimate value is in favor of the taxpayer.
So it would
And then
stay at 40.
Kim's office will just change it for 26.
Yeah, that's fine with
Okay.
us.
That works for me.
do we need to mention that to change, or you just know to change it, like in our motion?
No, you can leave next year. It'll be your concern if he appeals again. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, for the land and property, for the garage, I make a motion that we would do no value change on that at this time.
I will second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to maintain the county's value of the land and property at 40,600. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries.
Who's next then, Lance?
Yeah, it should be. And I have some opinions on Lance. This is the one I thought that we should do something for. So
Okay. This is an administrative hearing held on October 22nd, 2025 in the LaGrange County Annex Building. This hearing is being recorded. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana found in IC 6-1.1-1-1. The proceeding number is 44-013-25-0-5-00022. The parcel number is 44-09-12-200-010.008-013. The property address is 11790 East 310 South, LaGrange, Indiana, 46761. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree with the year under appeal is as stated?
yes,
My name is Kim Fairchild, and I'm Secretary of the ptaboa.
The following persons are here representing the ptaboa,
Jennifer Beachy?
Joe Billman.
and I'm Deb Notstein. The taxpayer is not present. The following persons are here representing the county assessor's office.
Kim Fairchild.
Josh Pettit with Nexus.
Will all persons who are may be witness in this hearing, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the information you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Since the taxpayer is not present, the county has the floor.
Okay, so with this one, I was actually hoping this taxpayer would be here because I wanted to do the whole thing where I pull them outside and talk to them. So I'll just talk to you guys and let you guys make the decision. They just built this last year. So The one thing I will admit is when we start having huge factors and huge market factors, it doesn't work well with brand new construction. In theory, the ideal thing would be an override on the market to get it to cost and then let the neighborhood factor do its thing, right? And so before the DLGF changed their cost tables, you would see new construction have market factors across the board because they'd build a house for 200 and the DLGF cost tables would make it 130. And we know the cost, they just built it. And so in this case, while we can't be 100% certain that the cost on the permit is what they truly have in it, their permit cost is like $390 and they just built it in 2023. So this is we're really new here, right? So we kind of have an idea. So the really only thing we have to do is, yes, it should get a couple % depreciation because it's a year or so old. But really the question is, how much did building costs change between when they entered into this contract probably in early 23 and 1/1 of 25? So we have a couple years of building cost changes. We don't have data on that. I'm just going to throw a number out and say it probably needs to go up 5 or 10%, right? The cost to build was crazy for a long time, going up every year, but it did level off. So we're not talking about 20% a year like we saw in 21 and 22. We were seeing building costs go up 20, 30% a year. But we probably still saw, 5, 6, 7% a year. And so if you say a couple of years, you can say anywhere between, 8 and 15% increase in the cost, and then give them depreciation on top of that of their 2%. All that leads to is, if I start with, and this is going to lower their value quite a bit, keep that in mind, but we know what they built it for a very short time ago. So if we're at 390 and we assume that's correct, times say like, we'll pick something in the middle there, say like 1.12%. So that's 6% a year. That puts us at 436.8. And then we would take a couple % off for depreciation because that would be in the system. The house itself should probably be somewhere in that 425, 430 range. And you can see it's at 597. And that's just because, again, new construction doesn't like those huge multipliers. Old stuff, it's fixing all of the messed up depreciation and the messed up cost tables and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't like new houses. So I will admit that it's a fault in the system that's really not fixable unless you look at every single house individually on the new construction side. So if he was here or she was here, whoever showed up for them, I probably would have came in and offered them to say, hey, we've got our land and we need to add about 425 to it. That puts us somewhere a little over 500,000. I don't have an exact number. I think you guys can decide if it should be, if you just want to use this number because they're not here, we can do that. Plus 81,900. That would put our overall value at 509, 510. It'd round to 510. So how we get to it is our problem, but we could even do that too. We could give you guys some obsolescence options or change the market factor options because it's new construction to get really close to a number if you feel that makes more sense than just letting it get the 2% and the 1.5% and spit out a value.
So where do you feel the land should be?
I think our land's okay. That's the same land as everyone else is getting there. This is the exact same number as some of our other folks that have come in. I think the land's okay. You see their sale price, but they did have a cottage on there that they've tore down. So that cottage might have been a tear down, but it was a good enough tear down that they lived in it or used it from 2016 forward. The only other land comp is right down the road from them. And I don't know how much money they're putting into regrading that. You can see in the aerial that there's just piles of dirt. But I think they only paid maybe 75 for that corner lot.
This bare lot down here.
Yeah, and I can get that for you in just a second. And of course, I'm still on the big long lake one. But in the end, I don't hate the land because the land is kind of an amalgamation of looking at some of that stuff, but also trying to get the land to be a certain percentage of our improved properties. And we're also keeping in mind at $1,800 a front foot, we're still $400 a front foot less than Stu Bend. So from equality at the whole lake side, you guys only care about LaGrange. I care about both sides, trying to figure out why is there such a difference? Because I get it. These people come in, well, their neighborhood factor is a 1.63. I'm like, well, that's what their sales spit out. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I would leave the land alone because it's the same as everyone else's land. Did you mess with it to see what it would get to in that 5-10 range, what they would have to recommend?
As far as an obsolescence.
Yeah, you're probably gonna need to start with like 20%. Oh, no, that went way too low.
Mhm.
10%. What's going on?
I don't know.
Take that off. Oh, it's because I've already messed with this. I'm sorry. Click that. Don't worry about me. And then do your 20%.
I wonder where that came from.
It's all these live changes. Okay, so it's gonna need a little more than that. 22. 25. Yeah, and again, I mean, we're starting to get high on obsolescence here to get there. Yeah, 25 takes it to 5085. So that's basically what that tells you is that the combination of the neighborhood factor and the market factor, when you look at brand new construction, is 25% too high. If this is an exact, if everything here was right, if I was 100% right on my assumptions, and their building cost was 100% correct, so that's kind of an idea. Is I have trouble seeing someone build a house basically a year before we start trending it, and it was 390, and now it's 600. So I get some appreciation, but not quite that much.
So
So you thinking 508, 500 total?
It would keep things easy. Yeah, I mean,
to just go 25% obsolescence.
yeah, if you just say because then as I trend next year, I'll leave that on. And
25%.
at some point, it might come off as depreciation fixes the process, but
Make lots of notes so that when it does come down and then they want to appeal because their obsolescence has changed, you can say, oh, but we gave you a break in the first place, buddy.
yeah, these people will be more surprised than anybody at this point, right? They're going to get a form in the mail that says, oh, that was worth not going to the hearing. It's not always that good for folks.
So it's going to be 508 what?
500.
Okay.
All right. I am willing to make a motion if you guys are ready. Anything else? I'll make a motion to modify the Lance property to 508,500 with a 25% obsolescence.
Correct.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to apply a 25% obsolescence to the Lance property to bring it down to 508,500. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries.
That does bring some equality. The Mr. Schindler, who's in here, has a house that is similar Remember, the process is just that you guys acknowledge the receipt of it. You do not have to approve or
And then do I have
take
to
a
do
motion or
something?
anything. What's that?
Do I
That's
have to do
tiny print.
something then?
For that?
Tiny print.
Yeah.
No.
Glasses would have
Nope.
to come off
Just,
to read
we're
that.
recording, right? As long as it's recorded, it's part of the official record. You guys have been given it, and then somebody just basically says that, we acknowledge receipt of it. There's no acceptance or motion or anything.
I believe that would fall on you.
Okay, I believe that we have looked over the land order presented by Josh Pettit of Nexus, and we accept it. So, is there anything else?
And that's all I have. Do you
Okay.
have other matters for them officially? Then you
Not
can adjourn-
official.
You can adjourn this thing.